on YouTube, and then we'll get started. If we want to mute everyone, thanks for saying hi, folks, who got here early and visited. It's been nice listening to y'all chatting. And okay, we are now recording and we are now on YouTube. And so let's rock and roll. Um, my name is David Rutz. Thank you, everyone, for joining um, our broker update. And we're coming to an end of a week here. Maybe this is your first broker update. So what we do on these is we just give any updates that are needed for everybody throughout the week, obviously, and then we give a tip generally or two, and then we take questions. And what we really want to do this for is for taking questions. And obviously, we want great communication as if we're all working in one training center. That's what this is for. It's our end of a week updates, bring everyone up to speed on things, keep people in the know, but it's also to be available. I mean, imagine if we were all sitting together in a conference room and we just watched a training from our corporate team. When I was at General Motors, I worked at headquarters. We'd always go down to a big meeting room once a quarter, and the president would come talk, and then we'd all mingle and just ask questions. But they would give us updates, and then we'd mingle. And it was once a quarter only. But then you had your interdepartment meetings, right? Well, we don't have the luxury of that because we're all independent brokers. But we do have an opportunity to come together on these live Zooms and fulfill some of that you otherwise can't do. 10 years ago, it was a conference call that you would attend and listen and then take questions at the end through the conference call. Well, Zoom allows us to put a face with a name and be a little more intimate than a conference call, but it's still not the same as live. So the corporate team decided, hey, let's open up early on Fridays. So 11:20 a.m. Eastern, we open up the Zoom. So come out early, introduce yourself, get to know some people a little bit better, network with some people. So we encourage that. And we want to do that more and more and more. So if you're coming Friday anyway, try to arrive at 11:20 a.m. instead of 11:30 so that you can be a part of that. It's so helpful to hear things other than just biz op stuff or funding stuff, which is all amazing, but it's good to hear other things as well. So that's the purpose of these, and we're so thankful you're a part of DAC. Long story short, we need people who have experience talking to business owners to talk to business owners about our funding, right? But we also need people who've never done that before to believe in what we're doing and them talk to business owners and grow into a new career, step into a new level of comfort promoting our services. And we understand not everybody is there. It's like public speaking. Some people are deathly afraid of public speaking. Other people, they were just born to do it, right? It was comfortable. It's not that they were good at it, they just weren't afraid of it. That's generally what a good public speaker is someone who wasn't afraid of it. So you do it long enough to become good. And the same thing with B2B marketing, B2B sales. Nobody's good at it when they first start. They're just not afraid of it. And then eventually they get real good. And so, if you heard McGuire talk to a client today versus when he started, and McGuire has always had a lack of fear talking to people, but I witnessed him on his first calls and I witness him now. And there's a whole different level of confidence, but he's always was fearless, right? And so that doesn't mean he doesn't have fear to make a call. There's always a reluctancy. There's always a reason to not call. That never goes away. The reason to not call never goes away, but the reason to call becomes greater. So if that can be a little tip for all of you today as we're moving forward, didn't plan to say that, but the reality is when the reason why is greater than the reason why not, then we proceed. And that doesn't matter whether it's taking a college class, eating the food or not eating the food, um, going on the date or not going on the date, or making a call to a business owner or not making a call when the reason why is greater than the reluctancy. So we just need to increase our why and decrease reluctancy, and then we get active and we have success. So you reduce reluctancy by training and experience. And if you're a B2B pro on here, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You remember your early days. So we've got people of all different levels here today. We've got people who've brand new, never been in marketing before or sales, never promoted anything before. So they're here. And we also have people who've been doing this for 30, 40 years. And it's like, they don't even think twice about promoting. They just want the facts. Give me the information about your product so I know what I'm promoting. So our certification will have just that. It'll have the standards you need to know. So we're not going to slow someone down to go through how to get a customer and all that in the certification. That'll be extra modules, but the process needs to be understood and the policies and procedures and the funding requirements and all that needs to be known by everybody, even if you're already a pro. So the good news on that, we're I'm not going to say a date, but we've got a date now that we believe it'll be live by. But I'm not going to say that date in case we can't hit it. But we're real excited about those standards being a part of this and all the extra modules coming in as well. So update on that, not ready yet, but soon. A couple other agent updates I wanted to talk about. In your DAC back office now, you have a new feature called Refer a Friend Funding. Refer a Friend Funding, it's on the left-hand side near the bottom of your DAC back office. And what that does is it allows you to enter in a name and an email of someone. I encourage you to send it to yourself first so you can see what it says. The unfortunate thing, it doesn't show you what it says. So the only way to know is actually send one to yourself. Um, and I would encourage you to do it because then you'll see where the message shows up. I could easily show it to you now, but let me just say it's basically our script. You don't know us directly, but you referred to us by Cheryl PQ. Cheryl wanted us to reach out to you because Cheryl became a funding broker with us, and we love to help businesses with funding. So we just want to reach out in case you ever have an opportunity, you're ever in a pinch, we can help you. So if you want to learn more, you can click this link. Or by the way, here's a message from Cheryl, and there's a little message from Cheryl. And then please reach out to Cheryl or reach back to us. We'll be happy to help you out. Something that simple. So it's just an onboarding. Now, I want you to know I sent this to 10 people yesterday. I've had one already reply for a line of credit, not apply, reach back to me about a line of credit. So I can only encourage you, every time you're reaching out to to a lead, they're not engaged yet. They don't know anything about us. Every time you send that out, you're another, 20% of the people see the email and now they know you're in business funding and now they know a little bit more and they can be considered an engaged lead. 40 engaged leads generally equals an application. So how many engaged leads how many leads do you have to tell before you have 40 engaged? I don't know. It depends on who you're texting, calling, walking into the facility, however you're doing. Warm market is always best. So that feature is now live. The speakers next week, Tuesday will be McGuire Tate doing Tuesday night alone. Thursday will be Nicholas DeHame doing Thursday night. The presentations have been great. The recruiting's been great. I want to tell you that 33% of our last 100 funding apps, 33% came from people who've been in the business less than 90 days, and 10% came in from people who started in June. 10% of our last 100 apps were brokers who started in June in the last 25 days. So, or last 20 days. So what that tells you is new brokers, as we've always said, when you introduce a new broker, they're more likely to get an application than an older broker because they're dealing with warm market. But I will also say that 56% of all of our fundings the last 100 came from brokers who have been in our business since 2023 or prior. So our brokers who've got more experience, they're still submitting over half of the fundings. I'm talking about new packages. I'm not even counting renewals. Renewals, obviously, almost all of those are older brokers because they're fundings that are renewing. But it just shows you'll have seasoned veterans who have got experience with us, 18 months or more, who will turn in files. You'll have brand new brokers who will turn in files. 33% of all of our new files came from brokers who don't even have 90 days experience. So don't think you need to be doing this for years to understand our basic standards. If you're not sure you know them, go watch the business funding training. What does it take to become qualified? Right? As long as you know that, as long as you know the pricing, you can talk to a client and steer them toward or away from us, right? You that line of credit, I steered them away from a line of credit. I said we might be able to get you approved, but the likelihood is low based on what you're telling me because you need more time in business. They're just not available right now. And this happens to be a roofing company, and that roofing company, um, I'm sorry, a tree. I knew it was one of the businesses I've been reaching out to, but there's a tree trimming company, and they can't get a line of credit from their bank, and they've got great credit, but lines of credits have been pulled from banks. So they're like, can you do that? Because that's ultimately what we like. We like getting money short term. I'm not really looking for a loan. A line of credit is what I'm looking for. And so steered them away a little bit based on what I know, but not to say don't apply, but I lowered the expectation of them getting approved. Now, if you meet certain requirements, we can certainly see what we can find for you, but just know that it's going to be tough hauling, right? Based on the size of your business, where they're at. So if you look at our line of credit qualifications, you'll see what they are, and it's 2 years and certain volume size, and so it's hard to qualify for, but it's doable. It's a lot easier than a bank, right? If they can get a line of credit at a bank, they can get one with us as well, right? And we're helping people get a line of credit who can't get one at a bank. So use the refer a friend site. Speakers Tuesday and Thursday. Nick and McGuire already talked about that. The PayPro payment processing weekly Zoom on Thursdays has ended. There's plenty of recordings there. We won't be doing that Thursdays anymore. We did that with healthcare in the past. Our healthcare submissions have not dipped. In fact, it's arguably the same or higher. So the payment processing Zooms they're discontinued. We'll have periodic ones. But we're not going to be doing that. So the new schedule is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay, we're not going to add Thursday back in yet. We may at some point. But this is what I'd like. I need all of you to go to the chat bar real quick for something. We've been considering and leaning heavily toward adding a Tuesday night after the presentation ends, a game plan, new agent plan, basically, new broker plan. Sorry. New broker plan each Tuesday night. That all the brokers who started that week, we encourage they come out for the Tuesday night, and we start a sequence for them Tuesday nights. So it'd be every Tuesday. Here's the thing. It's already recorded, and it takes a lot of effort to do each week, right? As it is, being there live to do the presentations, McGuire's committing to it. The support staff's committing to being there. Wade's committing, Nick's committing, I'm committing. We got hosts there, co-hosts, people answering questions. There's a lot of time commitment. And it becomes just the same or more for a new broker. And when it's the same thing every week, except there's new people, it's a lot of time commitment for sometimes an attendance of 5 or 10 people only, new. It's not worth it for that. There's videos they can watch. If they're willing to come live, they'll come there. We do the live Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we don't always get interaction afterward. The reason we do them is for interaction. The presentation's already in the can and on the website. So we're not doing it because they need a place for the presentation. They've already got one. Your partner overview site has already got the 24-minute message. It's not so McGuire can speak, or Nick or me or Wade. It's so your guests have a platform where they can ask questions. The information's the same. The difference is they can ask questions and they can hear from other brokers' feedback, testimonials. But we're not getting much feedback. In the chat bar, we are. And we're not getting much questions. So I want to ask you guys, do you feel there would be value to you to have a Tuesday night new broker onboarding. We're going to have the certification. It's going to do it. This would be more of a game plan, not a here's your links and here's your, you know, where to go to get business cards. It'd be a game plan, not a onboard training. It'd be a game plan for people who are already got in, already certified. You have to be certified to attend type thing. It'd be like a now that you're certified, let's kick off your game plan. Get certified by Tuesday night so you can attend. Get certified by Tuesday night so you can attend. Now, it's hard for us to stop someone from attending who's not already certified unless we do it by invitation only. But do you see a value in that you'd love to be able to promote to your new brokers? And if so, throw in the chat bars a bunch of yeses, um, or not needed. Yeses are not needed. Or so yeses, not needed, or indifferent. Just on the fence. You're on the fence. Put on the fence instead. If you don't indifference, I mean, I don't know how to spell that. It would take a little while. Um, that's me. So put whatever you want to show that you're on the fence. So yes, not needed or on the fence. Go ahead and do that. Outside of that, the only other thing I wanted to share with you today before we go to your questions is it's a shorter call. We're at 15 minutes now. The only other thing I wanted to share with all of you is it's summer is the time when businesses we always see an uptick in July, August, September. And what we attribute it to is warm market discussions, not that the businesses need it more. It's people are more actively seeing other businesses, business owners, and they're talking to them at the 4th of July party, and they're talking to them at the river canoeing trip. And they're running into people that all they're doing is increasing their engagement. It's not a more hot time for a business. That's usually fourth quarter and first quarter because they got new year, new goals, new motivation. Let's make a difference this year, and they're jazzed up. Um, and so they want to end the year strong or start the year strong. So they're always looking for ideas. That's when business owners are really prime. But for some reason, our brokers become more active in summer because that's when more warm market barbecues and different things like that are happening. I don't mean warm temperature. I'm talking about warm market. You're with business owners more. So knowing that, a little hack code for that is us knowing by being involved with people more, fundings go up across the board. Let's just create that environment before the barbecue, before the camping trip, before the make the list and call the list prior. Don't wait till you run into them. Um, have a canvassing day. Yesterday, I purposely had to say, I'm going to email 10 businesses today that I've never met and introduce myself. I had to purposely do it. Busy with other stuff. It's not, it doesn't just happen, right? It takes intentionality. So my only lesson for you today is knowing that customer acquisition, client acquisition goes up in the summer because there's more social parties. It shows discussions with the warm market is highly successful. And the same thing can happen in the cold market. Engagements only happen through outreach. Your outreach creates engagement. It's common sense math, but some of us just need a little reminder to increase the intentionality of our outreach so that we can have more engaged leads. And keep in mind, like you put in our Facebook group, a lead is just a business who can be contacted. An engaged lead is someone who has been contacted and understands what we do and understands what we do. And contacted is not engaged yet. They're still just a lead. Contacted lead, yeah, but they're not engaged until they understand what we do. I sent those 10 emails yesterday. One replied to me. I know I've got one engaged. I don't know if the other 9 opened the email or not. So I'm assuming I've got one engaged lead. They replied to me. If I talk to 10 business owners and all 10 of them were having dialogue and they know about our funding, I got 10 new engaged leads. 40 engaged leads equals an application. So how do you ensure that and increase your intentionality of your outreach and keep track of your engaged leads? HubSpot's a great free CRM because you can see they opened your email or not. It's just one. There's many others you can try. So that's all we've got for you today. Is there anything else from the broker support department that we felt we need to share, or anything in the chat bars that need to be asked?
Not that I can think of. We just have a lot of responses to um,
What's
the
the
onboarding.
response? What's the
It's
game plan look like?
a lot of on the fence, some on the fences, some not needed, some yeses. So I'd say a
Okay.
pretty good mix.
Okay. Indifferent. Okay. All right. So if we can support, if you can grab those, I don't know how to pull those off, but if you can grab that mix, it's kind of the feedback I expected. And I set it up by saying, we're not getting a lot of engagement. I'm purposely downplaying it a little bit. I could promote it and say how great it's going to be, and everyone would say, yes, I love it. But I'm purposely downplaying it. All right. No other chats in there. And I don't have the screen on, so I can't tell if anyone's got their hands up. I'm looking at my notes.
We do. Yep. Jose's got his hand up, so you can go ahead and unmute Jose.
Okay, David, will we be able to do the LMS on our mobile device?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Tyler, can you confirm that?
Yep, you'll be able to do it on your mobile device, but I'd recommend being able to go through and doing it on your computer, just in case you have to download any documents like quick reference sheets and stuff like that while you're going through the training. So I would say recommended experience would be to do it on a computer, but if you're just, wanting to sit on your couch and watch some videos and stuff, do it on your phone, that's totally fine as well.
It'll be compatible, just more ideal with the desktop. Yeah. Okay.
And then
Any
we
other
had
questions or comments from anybody?
got another hand raised from iPhone. So if you want to share your name and unmute, go ahead.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, David. It's Ron LeBrain. I've been medically out of it for quite a while now, but I'm slowly getting back. And I have asked this question several times. I've got 30 years as a insurance with life and health, and I've put this in the chat a few times, but no one answered. I mean, with 30 years and 15 years as a business broker, that's 45 years in business. And nobody will ask the answer or to let me know. License, are we entitled to anything more than the non-licensee?
We're not doing, you're talking about licensed healthcare?
Healthcare, yeah, you said there was
Yeah,
a mention of life in the future.
yeah,
Which,
we're not doing, we've pivoted about 7 or 8 months ago and said we're just not going to go down that road for anyone who wanted to. We put them in touch with the brokers, but we're not. So no, there's no extra income. If you are a licensed broker and you want to partner directly with, not directly, but if you want to go sign up with our health share department, you do all the work, but you don't earn any more. You do all that. You get to talk to them. You can, because you're licensed, you can do all that, but there's no higher commission. So there's really no value of being licensed except if you wanted to go partner with our life insurance company that we called Levinson, that I shouldn't say ours. It's a company we're gonna partner with and we put people in touch with. So we're a funding company. We're focused on funding. About 7 months ago, we pivoted around from that. Sorry to hear about your health challenges, and sorry if you didn't get the answers you needed. Glad you're here. Glad you're doing better. And may I encourage you, we are a funding company. And so we were looking at in 24 trying to add life and health to it. But as we looked into it further and further, we decided to not do it. And so and hopefully that answers your question. AJ's got his hand up, I believe.
He does. Yep. Go ahead and unmute yourself, AJ.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I wanted to ask about that feature you said you used in the back office to email 10 business owners. Now, were these business owners people that you knew, or can that be used for cold emails too?
Well, these are business emails that were in my chamber. So we've got an agreed upon network. I reached out to them because they're in my warm base, their network. I say that in the message that I'm reaching out because we're in the chamber together, and I want to know about your service as well, so we can refer each other. But it's designed for warm market, AJ, because we'll get spam complaints if you just go put in 20 names and you don't know those 20. They're going to say it's spam, right? And the email's coming from support@davidallencapital.com. It's not coming from you. If they reply to it, it goes to you, AJ. But if the email goes out, it's coming from us. So it's for warm market referrals. The subject line says referred by AJ Spatz. David Rutz referred us to you. AJ referred us to you. That's what the subject line says.
Okay.
So it's designed for warm market. It is not designed for cold market.
I thought so, but I just wanted to clarify because you didn't clarify if these were people that you knew or if these were cold businesses. You just said business owners. So I just
Yeah.
wanted to clarify.
And to be transparent, I didn't use the system to reach out to these 10. I wrote them personal emails. I didn't use the system for this because the script is different.
Oh, okay. Okay, thanks.
Thank you, AJ. Then we got Ellen with her hand up. Go ahead, Ellen.
Ellen Wynn, how you doing, Ellen?
Good to see you and everybody on here. Hey, I want to go back. I know a lot of people come in a little bit late, and early on in this meeting today, you were talking about 33% of our apps coming from new agents. And I just want to throw out my perspective on that. It's twofold. I take it one, if you're a new agent, that just proves that you don't have to be here for a long time. Like David said, you don't need months and months of experience to be successful here if 33% of our brand new agents are having success getting applications submitted. But the second piece that you may not have picked up on, everyone, is that should be a huge incentive for you to be recruiting, because if you bring in new agents and a third of them are going to submit new business, that means that you're increasing your opportunity to earn that enroller match on their new fundings from the new agent. So just wanted to throw that perspective out there so everybody's really paying attention to that message. That's it.
Amen. And by the way, Ellen, to go a step further, 100% of all the new fundings last week that weren't renewals, 100% of them were from new agents, new brokers. 100%. Every new funding last week. Now that's odd. That's not normal. It's just there's a lot of fundings that the offers out that haven't come in yet, but 100% of all of them that actually funded that weren't renewals were brand new brokers. So yeah, right along with what you're saying is it's a great reason to build your broker team. And by the way, you're going to see a 5-level payout on fundings. You're going to see a 5-level payout on fundings. It is based on how many certified brokers you've recruited. It's going to have nothing to do with your funding. It's going to have nothing to do with your team's funding. You're going to get up to 5 levels. You're going to get 1 level or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 based on how many certified brokers you've personally enrolled and how many your team's enrolled. That's what's going to be your qualification for 5 levels. And that counts all the brokers you already have. So don't wait to see what those numbers are. Don't wait to see what that plan is. That part's already pretty much in stone, but until it's programmed, it's not live. But the good news is I can tell you that part is going to be, I want you to go get certified brokers, and I want them to get certified brokers. And when you and they do, not only can you earn enrollment, bonuses. Not only are you in giving a gift called a great broker opportunity to people, not only are you potentially making impact, planting seeds in the business soil of DAC's business funding climate, not only are you planting a business broker in another town for our company, you're qualifying to earn overrides on them through 5 levels. And right now, you don't get that. You only get that if you've gotten funding clients, and then you can get broken away. If you're a DAC 4 and someone's a DAC 4, you don't get paid on them.
Right.
You don't get paid on your team. And I don't want it that way. That's not why it was designed that way. It's just how it ended up being. So you're going to get a 5-level payout no matter what. Plus, there'll be overrides. So, but you're not going to get it if you don't have a team. So there's another reason to be referring people is to get yourself positioned. So when we launch this, you'll already have a team that can get you qualified for your 5 levels override right then. Not override, 5-level payout right then. Leslie's got her hand up. Go ahead, Leslie.
Okay. All right. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, great. I listened to your banker teaching a couple of weeks ago, whenever it
Yes.
was. I need to listen to it again. But I went to a celebration of life and ran into somebody that I was thinking was a banker. And I had planned on calling him when I wanted to re-listen to this again before I dove in and started calling the people that I know that are in banking. And anyway, I brought it up to him at this celebration of life. And then it dawned on me, he's not a banker, he's a mortgage broker.
Mhm.
And I thought, now how do I recover what I already said, thinking that he was a banker? So I don't know whether you can help me
Sure.
from
Yeah.
the
He is.
banking to the mortgage broker.
Well, he is, because he comes across a couple of my first clients were mortgage brokers referrals, because they come across business owners all the time who
Huh?
need to get loans who aren't eligible unless you have 20% down, because you're a 1099 or you're a C corp. You need a larger deposit usually. And so sometimes those business owners want to take a loan against their business to pay themselves a bonus to have more money down. So there's always anyone dealing with money, whether it's a mortgage company, a real estate agent, anyone who's selling things to business owners or working with business owners is a great referral source, because they see it's non-traditional. A non-traditional loan, non-traditional real estate transaction, non-conforming because they don't have a W-2 job. They need more deposits, they need more options. So I would just simply say to them, you probably come across people all the time who are business owners, and some of them might be able to benefit from having a bonus to themselves or getting some more money, or maybe we could help get them a loan that they could help use as their deposit. There's different rules in different states. But yeah, so I wouldn't think that he's not a banker. He's not a bank manager, or she, but they are in the banking business. They're in the mortgage banking business.
Well, that's exactly what I saw, that, he encounters all these people all the time. And I figured that probably the best thing to do was enroll him.
Yeah, it'd be great for him to be and he can become a broker. Bank managers, generally it's against their laws to be able to earn a commission for referring a client. So they usually won't enroll. They'll usually just refer you out. That's why you give him your business cards, but he'd be able to enroll as a broker.
Oh, he can enroll. Okay. I was
Yeah, he
thinking
can enroll.
he could enroll his wife. So,
Yeah. He can enroll himself too. I don't know what company he's with. Maybe there's some C corps who say you're not allowed to moonlight, you're not allowed to do anything else outside of our company. So I don't know his company's rules, but most brokers are independent and get to do whatever they want to do, just like you're independent.
And he liked the idea that the borrower could use the money for whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure he's using in his mind some ideas. And by the way, Leslie, first of all, cheers to you for having the courage to talk to them about it And like you said, you want to watch it again, but you didn't wait till you're 100% ready. You waited till you had enough confidence to know this is good for them, to at least mention it, knowing it's okay if you go, I'm not sure, I'll find it out and get back with you. It's okay to not have all the answers.
Yes, good, thank you. And
Yeah,
yes,
thank you.
I intend to get back to him. I told him that. I don't want to wait too long.
Yeah, rock on. Get out and
Thank you.
back. And if we can help, as we've told you in private emails, we're happy to help with some of those banks too that you've reached out to. And we
Great.
had another one, Ed, who's on. I don't know if Ed's on right now. I don't believe so. But Ed went to a bank, same thing, and we're setting up a three-way call with a large bank, and another person set up a bank meetings from that call. So we're getting some good bank conversations coming from it. If you didn't go see it, go back to our YouTube page, and it's got a title on it, something about talking to bankers. It's on our I don't know which playlist it's in, but it's in one of the playlists. You'll see in our YouTube page, we're trying to move everything into the playlist early. So Mondays are Mondays, Tuesdays are Tuesdays, trying to get things organized a little better. Michaela's working on that feverishly, and we're going to be deleting a lot of videos and then trying to put titles and summaries to all videos so that you can do a search and find things easier. Any other questions from anyone or comments? Thanks for the comment, Ellen, on the recruiting, because there's no doubt about it. That's why our 10% is open to everybody. You don't have to qualify for it, except enroll the person and be an active agent. Active broker, sorry, broker. Harlequin, did I hear it's your birthday? Your hand just went up. I heard someone say it's your birthday. I'm not on Facebook. I thought your birthday was like 6 months ago. So talk to me. Is it your birthday?
Yeah, it was yesterday. Thank
Come
you.
on now. That last year went by like this, because I remember saying happy birthday to you just yesterday, and it wasn't yesterday. So
Very true.
happy birthday.
Thank you. But no, I just wanted to add something to Leslie. Talking to mortgage brokers, one of the other things that happens with a lot of small business owners that are trying to get a mortgage is their credit score is lower because they have their business debt on their personal credit cards. And getting our funding can go and they can use that money to pay off their credit cards, and it will increase their credit score so they qualify for a lower rate with their with their mortgage. So that's another thing that I've had success with as far as talking to mortgage brokers.
Love it. That's what's neat about this. When you can use the funds any way you want, I remember the first referral I got, Harlequin, I think I shared with you this in the past, was what was that networking group called? Not Chambers, but the big networking group. It's nationwide.
BNI.
BNI. First time I ever went to a BNI meeting as a guest, they let you do a little thing, and I did my thing, and a mortgage guy came up to me and he said, "Hey, I've got a business owner who needs 25 grand to buy a house. And can you get him 25 grand to buy a house?" I said, "I don't know what he's going to do with the money, but depending upon the size of his business, I can get him the $25,000 if he's doing enough revenue." The next day, the guy applied. He told me he needed it for a different reason, right? Because he didn't want to say, "I need cash to buy my house. I need 25 for materials and supplies." And I said, "Are you, and it just happened, I knew the type business. I'm like, "Were you referred by," let's just say the guy's name is Joe Blow? "Yeah." "Okay, Joe said you're trying to get the money to buy a home." "Well, yeah, but I didn't think a bank would allow me to take money from my business and use it to buy a home." I said, "They don't ask you to use the funds. Just you want to just make sure you're honest with the bank. It's okay. They're not going to ask, by the way. But if you're trying to get 25 grand to put the deposit, do you understand the cost of repayment?" I went through that whole thing, and he's like, "Do you understand the cost of not being able to get this house?" So I'd rather pay 32,000 over 9 months than not be able to get the house. I need 25 grand. And he ended up getting 40 or 50 and did put 10 into his business, put the 25 into his thing. So it ended up being a great fit. But that's how that, so there's different reasons mortgage companies, mortgage brokers want to refer people, because they can have business owners all the time. Paying off the credit card debt, brilliant. Brilliant, because your FICO score jumps immediately. It's a brilliant idea. It's costly, but sometimes the benefit is better than the cost, even if the benefit's not increased sales. Sometimes it's just a new home. All right. I don't see any other questions or comments. Thanks for that feedback. Harlequin, happy birthday. And if anyone else is celebrating a birthday right now, happy birthday to you. Sorry we don't have everyone's birthdays, but hey, let's go take on the weekend then. Strong start to next week, and have a great weekend. Use it to move more people from leads to what kind of leads? Engaged leads. Your engaged leads will become leads who have needs, who will become applicants. Move them from engage or leads to engaged. Engaged leads eventually have needs who become applicants. When they have needs, you want them to be engaged with you. Otherwise, they'll apply with someone else. It's really that simple. It's filling up the soil with seeds. God bless you all. I'm going to get back to work on some things, getting stuff done for all of you. I'm excited to see the standards set, certification set, and some other things we've got cooking. God bless you all. Have a great weekend.